Start a stream on. Let's see if I'm streaming. Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? Oh my God. It's been a workout, ladies and gentlemen. Workout this morning, workout this afternoon. Welcome to everybody. I don't have any background music because I'm lazy, I guess. I don't know. Been making a lot of music too. Amazing sounding music, basically. And hopefully, that's what I say, right? That's what I say. What other people think is another $20. But I think it's sounding way better now. Yes. So, as you can see in the title, I've been talking about the I'm gonna be talking about the Senhieser 490 Pro HD490 Pro. Great set of headphones. I'm not using them. I can't use them right now because they're open back and the sound is gonna filter through the microphone. I want to take a shot of vitamins right now, guys. So it's been a long day. I went this morning. I went to do some inline skating at the park, and it was an amazing skate. I didn't skate for that long. I basically did like 4 miles of skating, and it was pretty good. I'm feeling great. Great core body workout. I'm doing this for my health. I'm not a little kid anymore, so you know how it goes. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is future synthesizers that I want to get, and I'm thinking about getting that Pro. I got the Pro 800 right now, which has been a blessing. It sounds amazing. I got the Behringer Grind. I got the Behringer Edge. We got the SEO2, the ASM Hydra Synth. I have 2 drum machines right now. Well, 3 actually. I have a model samples down there, which I used to make a lot of beats on that, but it's I don't know. I haven't used it. I might make a video. I want to make a breakout. I might make a breakout. Probably make a breakout. You know, on the go type of setup. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna see if I think I'm gonna get rid of the SH4D. I also have a DJ mixer down there that I want to get rid of. And what else was it? There was something else. I was thinking getting rid of the SEO2, but I don't know about that. Or I could get rid of the Micro Freak, but also I don't know about that. I don't know, man. I feel like it's me. It has to be me because maybe I haven't sat down with them enough, and that could be a problem. Hi, Aaron Parties. Thanks for joining in. I don't know, man. I'm like a very demanding person now. Ever since I started touching like synthesizer, well, the SH4D, the only problem I have with the SH4D is I don't know what it is about it. It's something that doesn't like it doesn't like yeah, it makes certain sounds, but it's like quite it's not quite there when it comes to the sound. Um or maybe it's me because maybe I don't find it to sound like I think I'm looking for like I bought this Pro 800 and every time I play it it feels different. It feels different. And I can make the same type of patches on the SH4D and it does not get even close to that. Yeah, yeah, well, post, but yeah, that could help. The other thing I think that I'm going through right now is the desk situation. I have a desk that is not appropriate for my setup. Like I got things like everywhere. I think that's what's making it uncomfortable. Uh I could fatten it in a post, but the oscillators in it, they don't get the sound. Even if I like PWM on it, that's why I was saying today that I might when you go analog, I think it's hard to go back to digital just because there's something there's something in the sound. Like if I put that Pro 800 and then I play next to it a digital synthesizer, it doesn't feel like they belong together sonically, right? They don't feel like they belong together at all. Like you can tell that it's the digital one is so thin next to the other one that it doesn't compete and like it drowns in the sound. Maybe that's me, right? Because everybody has a different perspective on the situation, and also could be mixing too. It could be the mixing. I don't know, but let's see what happens. So yeah, or maybe I could get better gear. I could, you know, if I get rid of those and get me a UBXA, um, and it has plenty of modulations. It has I believe I was researching, and it has like 3 LFOs per oscillator. Yeah, yeah, I'll have to do some experimenting. You're right. I should give it a try. Um, you know, yeah, why not? The other problem that I was that I have to address is my audio interface situation, and the problem is that I have an ADAT, and the ADAT runs at 41 or 48, and the Behringer Euphoria 1820 is a great 8 channel uh, audio interface, but there's a big but. The but is when you're running 41 kilohertz ADAT or 48, there's a problem with the clock. Every 8 bars or so, while I'm hit, if I hit playback, when I'm doing a playback, every like 8 bars or so, I get clicks and pops and it gets recorded. It's not that I'm getting a clicks and pops and that's just me on the playback in my studio monitors. But that's running it at 40, 41 or 48. Now when I'm running that interface at 46, right? There's no issues whatsoever. Latency, oh, non-existent. Probably 5 milliseconds, the most. Uh, and I can even run the loop back. I can make a loop back with the 369 to process the audio at the end, and it does work just fine. No hiccups, no problems. Now, I'm running the M Audio Air 192.14 together with the, as an aggregate device, together with the Behringer 1820, and everything's working just fine, which is a relief that everything's working just fine. So we have that. The other issue that I might need to buy a couple more cables, because I really want to run the MPC. I think I have enough cables, but I want to run the MPC, because what I'm doing with the MPC is I'm running all the audio through the Mackie, right? And it's coming, for live jamming, it's coming out the 2-channel of the Mackie into the input of the MPC, and then going back out, right, into the DAW, right? So I'm doing that just because I want to use effects from the MPC to do transitions, right? And at the same time, I want to be able to use the effects of the TR-8S. So I'm using effects for transitions on the MPC to make transitions with the synthesizers, and the TR-8S, it does its own transitions as a drum machine. So you got the retriggering, and then you have the, you can set up, it stands on its own, the TR-8S, right? So that's cool. Now, I was thinking about getting a babyface, RME babyface audio interface, because it's the best in class, is the fastest, lowest latency, and the clock is outstanding, right? So when we're talking about the clock is outstanding, is that it does 44.1 running multiple ADATs. It will not have the same problem that I'm encountering after I have a playback of more than 8 bars, right? So I'm not gonna get clicks and pops, and it's gonna have an overall world clock that is gonna run smoothly, right? So that's why I'm thinking about getting that interface. It does not come with plenty of outputs, but I can buy another Behringer ADAT and use that. Boom boom. The only problem too with the Behringers is the converters in there are not that great. So even though, so I might have to be careful on my dynamics and how much dynamics I'm pushing into the ADAT itself. I gotta. It's a hell of a balance that you have to make, and maybe and maybe, because yeah, the babyface audio it has what's it called, it has a dynamic range of I think, if I'm not mistaken, of 100, almost 130 decibels, of, so that means it could take like really really loud input to it, and probably get that, that fat sounds when you drive the preamps into the interface, and it might be able to capture a highly driven sound. I guess that's why they do that, or I don't know exactly why, but the ADAT will distort, or the converters will distort in a bad way if it goes over 105 decibels. That's on the Behringer side, which I can't complain, because actually it's like $140. You're talking about ADAT for $100 something. You can expect to have like really high-end chips in there. So you get what you pay for, right? So that's okay. I don't have that much of a problem with it. I think I'm being too high demanding when it comes to that. Maybe I shouldn't be that high demanding, but I really do. Considering what EchoCraft was talking about this afternoon with that interface, it has 16 inputs. And that's plenty. 16 inputs means that I can run all 16 channels of the Mackie directly into the interface, right? So that means I can run everything through the Mackie first, which is gonna give me I can do some really nice gain staging in there, and I could make, say, like the channel 1, which is my kick channel. I can add gain to it and all that stuff. So that will be amazing, right? But I did a comparison, guys. I use Chat GPT. People get upset at people that use Chat. I use the Chat GPT, and I'll ask Chat GPT about all this information and to give me comparisons, and it will give me a chart where it has all the comparisons between each one of the interfaces and their differences between each other. And there's a big difference, even though uh, you know, that interface, that EchoCraft, it was still, I was still gonna get from a RME interface, I'll get a total round trip of about, if I'm not mistaken, 3 milliseconds, right? No, probably 5 milliseconds around there, right? So 5 milliseconds round trip compared to uh the one that he was talking about. We're talking about a complete round trip of, I think it was 8 point something milliseconds, right? So you got to remember, after 10 milliseconds, the latency is audible. So you will have audio latency. And especially if you're, when you're recording back. So that's why I've been, I've been researching, and, RME stuff is outstanding, right? And then you have other companies that are even way better or as good as RME, and um but they're pricey. We're talking about, yeah. So yeah, exactly. So, or Thunderbolt. There's some Thunderbolt interfaces out there that can compete. But when it comes to 44.1, which is the interesting thing is about it, is the 44.1, because when you're running at 44.1 or 48, that's where the audio interfaces get hit the hardest, is at those resolutions, right? Because when you get a regular interface and you put it at 96 or 192, right? It's like right now, my M Audio Air 192.14, if I put it at 192 resolution, it like I would not have latency even at 1,000 something samples. It will still have less. It will still be around 7 milliseconds round trip. But you cannot run an ADAT for extra channels with an interface at those resolutions. It has to be either 48 or 44.1. I'm drying here. Hey Rourke, how you doing, Rourke? Rourke says some of these higher end interfaces on either cat cables rather than USB. Yeah. Yeah, they're special. Yeah, those interfaces are very special, and you know, uh, for USB, I think, and I'm thinking about going with RME and then daisy chain to two ADATs from Behringer if I want to be able to make it happen. Um, I can do that, or I can just keep it the way I'm having right now. That's why the thing is I can just keep it the way I have it right now, and there's not a problem. The problem is that the TR8S takes up at least 4 channels of my Mackie, which are going directly out into the interface. So I'm using the Mackie like as a booster for that signal, right? And then it's go into the interface. Even though I'm boosting the signal, I have to be careful with the interface when it goes in, because it also has a limit on how much input gain is receiving, right? So it's it's a give and take type of game. And other than that, what I was talking about earlier. Oh, yeah, the headphones, guys. I can't stress it enough. Here we got the Senhieser. I don't know if you can see it. Let me change the camera right quick. Boom. Senhieser right here. Open back. Hold on. There you go. Open back ones. It's amazing, bro. I'll tell you. Listen. Compared to the Briar Dynamics HD7 said, no wonder some people, when I I used to go to other channels and at the beginning, and I used to yeah, I got those. Those are incredible for me, right? Let's For me. You know how I can tell they're incredible? It's the you know how I know? I know when I do the playback on other devices, right? So I did a newer mixes. I have a new reggaeton beat that I'm not gonna show here because it's gonna. I'm doing a. I'm already talking too much, but I'm doing things. I'm getting ready for the Ultimate Frequency Championship, and I want to have. I'm making at least 4 or 5 beats. That And from those 4 or 5 beats, I'm gonna pick, right. So I want to pick the one that I think that between me and my friends or people that I let them to hear, and I'll decide from what am I gonna go with, right? I don't know. There's no rules. I get to do. I have plenty of time till then. So listen, the mixes are coming out so good that it translates on everything that I take. Like I'll put it in the car. It sounds exactly how I hear it. I put it on. I have a Bluetooth speaker in the living room, which is a Sono box. It sounds the same. I put it on my Bluetooth cheap Bluetooth earpiece. It sounds the same, bro. It translates so freaking good. I can't even believe it. Now, when I hear the mixes after I make those mixes here, and I hear the mixes here, it sounds messed up in these ones. The bass and the highs are out of control on these ones. So that's why when I used to make the mixes on these ones, my mixes came out flat with no highs and no lows and all mid range. And I knew there was something. There was something wrong, and it was the headphones. And then I did a little bit of research again with the online, with the ChatGPT, and yes, the Briar Dynamics DT770, they have a V shape. They're V shaped. The sound is V shaped, which means that the mids get pulled down and the lows and the highs stick out, right? So when you do the mix, what happens is you start compensating and you start lifting the mid range, right, and lowering the highs to compensate, right? And when you try to hear the translation, it loses all the high shine, the shininess, the really nice shine. And then my studio monitors are not great, which are I have some KRKs, G3s, 5-inch G3s. That's the next step that's the next thing. I don't know if you can see them right here, right? Those are the KRKs G3 in gray version, and don't get me wrong, uh, they're not bad, but they're not true. Like, yeah, they're cool to do a playback. I can do playback and it sounds great. If your mix is great, it's gonna sound okay. Yeah, well, I see. It says Rourke says I noticed a difference in fidelity of recordings when I switch to 48 kilohertz after adding expansion rack like you. Yeah, I want to switch back to 96. I don't sleep on Kali audio monitors. Well, I asked my Sweetwater rep, and he said, you know what he sent me? He sent me a link to the Atom Audio A7Vs, which are like 1,000, like $1,200 each. And I was like, bro, you gotta be joking, bro. I can't do fucking $1,200 a piece. It's way out of my league. I mean, uh, it's way. The Kali audio monitors were the ones that I was looking at. I was looking at the uh, IN8 monitors, which are the three-way, 8-inch coaxial three-way monitors, which are amazing from what I heard. The LP6, the LP6 are okay, but I was thinking about getting three-way, and from what I heard is that the good thing about those three ways is that since the top, the mid range, and the tweeter are coaxial, so they're coming from the same area of the speaker. It does not cross over as bad as if it would have been three separate spots on the monitor, right? Yeah, but not always not always three drivers is good, because if you have three separate drivers, they cross over. By the time they hit your ears, they have a they it depends on. That's from what I heard, right? From people that are experts on it that were talking about it. I don't know shit about it because I haven't done any measurement whatsoever. From what I heard from the experts, right? Yeah, more is more. Always, not always, bro. Not always, because the A7Vs, they are like only two-way monitors, and they're way better than the Kali Audio's IN8 monitors, right? So, uh, the other thing they were talking about that, which I wish I keep because I try to keep up with everybody, right? But I can't remember everybody's who that video was from. But the guy talks a lot about the Kali Audio uh, speakers, and you'll find out if you go. They got very popular videos on there. So the problem with the KRK that that I never realized was that when you have if I do a mix with enough bass on my headphones, right, in the speakers, it will be probably you will hear it probably like the bass will be like maybe like 3 decibels higher, right? So when you reference your KRKs, you will be like, damn, the bass is too loud, right? And it's not that the bass is too loud, is that that's the frequency response of the KRKs is a little bit weird when it comes to that. The other second thing is they tend to distort on the high end if you have instruments that are very, it will crackle. I noticed that from them. Sometimes when it hits the high end hits too hard on them, they'll crackle. So they have, they're very entry level um, monitors, and now with all this acoustic paneling that I put around the whole room, I hear it. I could hear it. They sound better with the acoustic panels. They sound better than before. The bass, it's pretty much tame. Even though I have them pulled back. I'm doing -3 on the low pass, so I'm taking off 3 more decibels from them. So, you know, like you said, more is more, and not always, but I went also again on the chat GPT because I'm a dumbass and I like to ask the computer the stuff because it'll search around the whole web for me instead of me wasting 8 hours of researching. I'll narrow it down to maybe 10-15 minutes of searching, just asking the right questions, giving the machine the right prompt. And some people don't like it, but I don't care. I'm in the times, so I'm trying to make my life faster. Things like that need to happen faster, right? So this this thing uh what I was saying. Okay, so I was talking about the what was I talking about? I forgot already. I smoked so much weed back in the day. I just I'm fried, bro. So I just forget sometimes what I was talking about. So I was talking about the monitors, right? And the Kali Audio's IN8s, which are very nice. Okay, the Chat GPT. So I took the Chat GPT and I asked the Chat GPT about um, what is the best budget, what is the best budget, and then I have $1,000. What is the best budget monitors that I can buy that will give me mixing and mastering grade reference, right? And that was the prompt. And I hit enter, and those were the first ones. Like the out of all of them, from all the all around the internet, all the information, out of all of them, these are the from $0 to $1,000. These are the best that you can buy for that amount of money, around like $500 per speaker, right? And that it will give you the it will be it will give you that high end, so you can mix and master on them, right? So I was looking at those. So I'm trying to see what am I gonna do, because if I can mix better now with the headphones, why should I buy a pair of studio monitors where I really don't need them at the moment that much? Because the headphones are giving me what I want, right? What's up, Georgies? Yo. So, you know, um, why would I buy them? I could buy them, and it will be a good buy if I buy the Kali Audios. I heard the LP6 are very good. They have also uh, the I'm not if I'm not mistaken, the brand is. Let me see if I can find that right quick. PreSonus. There's one that is called PreSonus. PreSonus. And there's a coaxial one. PreSonus coaxial. Yeah, that PreSonus Aris Pro 8-inch, right? So, yeah, the PreSonus Spectre 8-inch powered monitor, right? And those are the Spectre. The 6-inch are $399 each, and that will be also a good thing. But I asked the ChatGPT if it was worth it, and it still insisted on the Kali Audio IN8s. So I don't know if I could be right on the money. IN8s. Right now I'm on the website on Sweetwater. And let me see if they even have it. Yeah, there are $499 each, right? So Kali, the version to 8-inch powered monitors, and they're 3-way-inch speakers, which is gonna give me a very defined low end, guys, and that's a plus. That's a big plus to me to have a very defined. I would not need a subwoofer with that studio monitors, because it will have all the low end. It goes all the way down. If I'm not mistaken, it's 35 hertz around there. If I'm not mistaken, you see, I'll be reading about this all them day, guys. It's like I'm obsessed with audio gear. Am I the only one obsessed with audio gear nowadays? Oh, yo, I'm gonna go crazy, man. One of these days, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go in the store. I'm gonna say, all this. Can I take? I'm taking all of it. Oh yeah, Georgie's. Georgie's, did you get your LM drum? You were saying something about LM drum earlier. So how does it sound? Are you pleased with the 12-bit? Just one 2 weeks ago in New York. So they're kind of hard to find, I guess, right? Let me see. You haven't even sampled yet. Yeah, well, that's a plus. Damn, bro, that's a plus. You know, uh, I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. All the people that are doing demos and stuff like that, they're going crazy about it. LM drum. Let's see what these people have here. Yeah, they're in pre-order here at Sweetwater. And the price is not bad, bro. That price is amazing. Estimated June 2025. It makes me want to freaking just hit out. I'm going to add it to the cart. What you think about that? And I get rid of the TR8S. That would be violence. That's violence right there. I like the TR8S. I don't know what it is, but I just like it. What's it? I won't order from stateside again. My edge cost an extra 200. Why would you pay 200 extra for a Behringer Edge? Yeah, the TR8S is, I can't get rid of it because if I, let's say, if I, so I had a, let's say tomorrow I get an invitation and say, listen, I'm gonna invite you and I'm gonna do, we're gonna be doing live jams and I'll invite you to my live jam. That will be one of the machines that I'll take with me. I will take with me that one. I'll take with me the Micro Freak. I'll take with me the Behringer Edge, and I'll take with me the MPC. Only those four. I'll make a disaster with those fours only. I will run the Edge and the Micro Freak through the MPC, and then I'll take bass from the MPC and run it through the input of the TR8S, doing a side chain, and I will run it like that. Georgie says I missed out on an Edge for $150. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that one. And the other thing, I'm having a little mixed feelings with the Behringer grind, guys. And it's not, and it's all me. It's all me because it's so quirky, and it's not that it's quirky. It's like it's the sounds, when you want to make a sound, it's like some of the engines are just a little bit uncomfortable, I might say, right? But the thing is that if you don't, like, you have to modulate stuff, and that's why I need, and that now I'm patching more on the machine, you know. Hansful, I hate to grind. I'm having mixed feelings with the grind, right? And it's all because, it's all because of it's all because of that. But how you doing, Hansful? Hansful is mad at yeah. I've been I bought that low fly dirt. You guys know about that low fly dirt for the MPC? I bought it. And um yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a machine that needs to breathe on its own. It's like yeah, I understand. I feel the kind of the same way with it. It's not that I don't like it, because I like it. Sometimes I make really nasty stuff with it. But the problem is that you have to find the sweet spot. Like you can't take this machine and expect it to to, unless you only work with it so many times that you know how everything's gonna work right away. And I like the 303 thing, which is not a bad thing because I basically have a 303 here plus the rest of the stuff that it can do. And it's not a bad idea. So why you hate it? You tell me. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, exactly. Georgie is right on the money. So yeah, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. When I run it, if I run it right now through the pedals that I got, it sounds different. It's how it's meant to be. Let's do something right quick here. I want to open this channels right here. Let me see where we at. Let's see where we at. Let's send it. I'm gonna send it to. Oh let's put a. Okay, I downloaded this new reverb here. I don't know if you guys got to get it. It's the. Let me see if I can find it here. It's a new reverb that came out. It's free. What the name of it is? Oh my God! Let's see more plugins. A Space Blender. The new plugin Space Blender, guys. Get it before the 24th. Oh yeah. So I was doing the hands vault with the mod outputs from the Hydrosynth, and I was sending the LFOs to the oscillator model, and it does work, but you know it, yeah, it's not a fun device for live compared to the Edge. The Edge is a really fun device for live. That one I got zero issues. Let me take this right here to the grind. Let me sync the time. Let's change this one to long flyby. Let me change that. Oh, I don't like the way that one sounds. And this one, I don't like. Let's see, reverse, ambient 1. And that's the FM engine. Let's send this oscillator. Let me put this right quick. Everything sounds better with reverb, I guess. Well, the problem with it is that it's just weird. Let me see if I do. If I can send one of those outputs to this guy right here. I'm gonna send the modulation from the Hydrosynth to, let's say, the oscillator timbre, right? And then I'll go here to the mod matrix. I'll assign LFO1 to the CV mod out 1, put it all the way 128. CV, please. Thank you. Oh, that DAW is the FL Studio. FL Studio, what is it called now? FL Studio 25? I think it is FL Studio 25. The latest one. They have some weird new plugins with the FL Studio. Other than that Space Blender, they have, let's check the new stuff right here. They have the Hyper Chorus, the Low Lifter, Spreader, which is basically like it helps on the stereo field, and a Transporter, which is the weird one I'm going to show you guys. I hope you can see it in the screen. So when you play with it, let me get a preset, a rat pad. Nah, a Kai Timberwolf, you're nuts. I wouldn't get that at all. You know, that was one of the machines when I started this journey of hardware stuff, because I'm like everybody else, I started with FL Studio version, you know what? And I was making my music. I didn't know anything about mixing. I didn't know anything about anything, right? So I always wanted to understand the freaking the freaking I'm gonna show you right now, which is Synth Classic. Let's see. This guy right here. I wanted to understand this thing, because when you're a noob and you're starting out, how the fuck does this work? The toxic biohazard. And what are those, all these squiggly things? I already know what they are now that I'm like experienced. This type of stuff right here is what made me go to Volcus, right? But before Volcus, I think my first hardware unit was a Volcus sample, right? And when I started playing with that thing, my brain blew out. I blew out my mind. I said, this is incredible, the things that I can do here. And I used to make little videos with listening to the speaker. I remember that stuff. It's probably like 10 or 12 years ago. And you know, I always play guitar, but I never mess with the, you know, I started messing with beats and things like that, and trying to understand. I didn't know. I didn't even know. I remember I didn't even know that this channel mixer right here represents basically a console, what a console should be doing. And I didn't go to school for music or whatsoever. It's like I'm self-taught. I've been learning it, whatever I know. I learned it by trial and error, right? Right? Like a lot of people do. So trial and error on all this stuff. And you know, and again I came across with the animal. This thing right here. toxic biohazard, which is it's a total hazard. Um, toxic biohazard, right? Let me see if I can get that. Let me take this guy off here. That's let me see. Let me get a rhythmical. Oh my god, that sounds so horrible. But yeah, and I never knew how to control that beast right there, so I have to learn some way or somehow. So the Volca sample is really fun, and I never I can't rag on the Volcas neither, right? They're what they are. They're entry level. I'll tell everybody that's starting out, if they don't have anything else, or they have a very low budget and they can find one for, I don't know, $50 in a somewhere they find it or whatnot, just get that. But I get, when I started, if you can see my first few videos, I had a Volca. I had I had three Volcas. I had a Volca FM, and I learned how to deal with FM synthesis, and I learned how to work with the FM the FM algorithms, which are the worst because um, some algorithms had more than one feedback loop, and you will have one that is free, and then we're talking about six operators, and then you had two operators that didn't have any feedback, but one of them had feedback, and then basically you're making them oscillate between each other, and that's what makes the FM sound. This modulation in like modulating modulations and things like that. Plus, at the same time, you have I'm not it envelopes that control that modulation, and it gets really really complex. And I took my time. It took me like 3 or 4 months to understand the Volca FM, which is and then until I found out about about the software online that you can like, it can help you add like change all the presets in there. I'm trying to think about it. Dext. Dext is the when you get Dext, and it has a MIDI out, that you can send the MIDI out through your interface, and you can send out the messages to the Volca FM and change the presets to whatever you like. And it was an awesome experience, but I'll never do that again. I never do that again. I have this 4 operator FM from with the Akai MPC, which is right here. Let me grab it right quick, and that'll be the OPX4, and that's more than enough for me. Let's grab that OPX4, right? And then I have input 1 and 2 here off. That's the OPX4, and it has its things in there. I made it, but the thing is, I didn't make that many patches on it because uh, it's just it's just difficult to work with, and it takes a lot of time. I made this one's like a koto. You know, that one is cool. I was thinking about like Japanese. But it still needs like modulation on the, maybe some I could add some glide to it, and then a little bit of modulation on the pitch modulation or something. Or maybe I could add one of the LFOs to the pitch modulation so it sounds like twang, 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 twang type of stuff. What the? Who's that? Since Samurai in the house. What's going on, Since Samurai? It's another day in paradise over here, you know. Cooling down from the gym. Yeah, but it's not an up 6. It's a up X4. It's a up 6-4. Up 4. And I got that, and I actually bought it twice, my guys. I bought it twice by mistake. So this has all kinds of brass, and that's what I like it. Yeah. It doesn't sound bad. You can grab core opposites for cheap now. MK1. Nah, man. I'm trying to stay away from FM synthesis. This, you know, all FM synthesizers are gonna be digital. And one day I made a stupid question to somebody. Oh, can we make can we get a fully analog FM synthesizer that, you know, that does FM with analog? And some people say it will be impossible because of the fluctuations, maybe of the. It will be like, I guess it will not be like in tune all the time, I guess. Damn, an op 6 for 250. Yo, that's cheap. That is very cheap right there. Somebody needs to pay sounds. I'm trying to get rid of that. They sound like me, bro. I'm trying to get rid of stuff to pay other stuff that I owe. Not really. I want to get that. I want to get that UBXA desktop. Okay, so that's the OPX4, and that's from the. This is sound is coming from the MPC. Well, since Samurai is asking a question, what you think of that new Moog Messenger? It sounded to me like it had a ton of modulation. You might buy Akai Timber. It doesn't sound good, Georgie's. The Timberwolves doesn't sound good. Maybe you like it, but I wouldn't get that. I from what I heard on that video, that they were playing Echo was playing that video today, and that's when I watched it while I was doing things around the neighborhood. I really think it's like another it sounded like a lot of modulations. It it sounded like it had multiple, probably has multiple like sequencers inside, because it sounded like it had a couple different sequences running at the same time, unless it was just a montage that they did with the same unit with different takes on it. But if if that was just that synthesizer playing and it had all those, it might be good. I don't know if it's fully analog. I don't know if is it analog? Is there any information on it? Does anybody know? Am I asking too many questions? That's a question right there. George is I'm getting for $100. For $100. $100. The Timberwolf. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Have you heard it before, Georgies? Yes, and Samurai. That's what I was thinking. What was the name of it again? It was the Moog Messenger. Moog Messenger synthesizer. Let's see if they have a read. There's a leak. They said that there's a leak here. Let me see if this bothers the screen. Does it bother my screen? No, it doesn't bother my screen. Let's see if we have a readout of it. This is a Moog teases new messenger. This is from Music Radar. Let's see what they have to say. All right. So they have Super Booth 25 is almost this. I'm reading from Music Radar, and this was written by Matt Mullen, and he published this 8 hours ago. Just to make it clear that I didn't write this, okay? So it says Super Booth 25 is almost upon us, and you know what that means. New gear announcements by the bucket load from the biggest brands in music technology, right? All right. Says ahead of the show kicking off in Berlin Thursday, 8th of May. Okay, so it's May 8th, guys, when Super Booth starts. Moog has shared a cryptic teaser video that confirms the company will be releasing a new synthesizer called Messenger. This video is a surreal experience that finds unidentified workers visiting the forest to install microphones in the ground before they were shown a Severin-esque scene in which more freaky corporate types get their Jackson's Pollocks on. I don't know what they're talking about. While one plays the new Messenger synth, if the Severance connection seems a little random, cast your mind back to the 4th episode of the show's latest season, in which Mix Watt explicitly explains a Moog Thermini. I don't know what they're talking about. It's weird. A new mode of communication has arrived, reads the caption of the video, a carrier of universal languages, a catalyst of human connections, a machine of deeper meaning. This device translates ideas into actuality. It exists in a space. This is so much shit. It exists in a space where experimentation meets expression, where the sights and sounds of the natural world intersect with notions of the cosmic beyond. That was weird. So it's a 32-key mono synth equipped with 2 oscillators and a sub oscillator, along with FM oscillator sync capabilities. Yeah, you see, it has a 64-step probabilistic sequencer. So that's why it sounded like it had multiple. It sounded like it had like many different. So it's not. It's the synthesizer sounds like that. Yeah, there you go for your face. There you go. 64-step probabilistic sequencer. That ain't no joke right there. That ain't no joke. It could be a pretty serious piece of hardware, guys. It might be one of those set and forget type of synthesizers. So, judging from the imagery look, looks like there's also a multi-mode filter on board with 4 modes. And this is all what they can see by looking at it. An arpeggiator and 64. So it has the arpeggiator plus a 64-step probabilistic sequencer. So that means that between those two things, it might be what's causing that. You know, it might be what is causing that Moog sound right there. Right? So keep on listening. The caption reads, we have more to share with you soon. So that's what Music Radar is saying. Mr. Matt Mullen from Music Radar, that's what he's saying. So we'll keep up with the Joneses, right? Wow. It's amazing. So you have stuff on Reddit here, Messenger Leak synthesizers, the beauty of Super Booth, Moog Messenger, Gear Space. Let's check out Gear Space. And let me read here the guys. Oh yeah. I couldn't tell if he had layers in his DAW. Okay, so yes, good question, says Aaron Parties. Georgie's, yes, I heard it. It's okay. I want to sample and flip it. Okay, cool. Bro wrote this article with ChatGPT for real. Flim flam, all these writers. Did Echo Craft recommended it? Echo recommends all things Moog now since he was hired. Okay, I guess he was hired. Yeah, he's a paid man, bro. Moog hired Echo to counter Behringer Heat. Yes, definitely. Could be. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. This world has a lot of things going on lately. Anything could go. Anything could happen nowadays. So here I am at Gear Space, and this is basically like a vlog, like a blog. There's no information here from anybody. I don't see any information. Somebody saying analog FM synth. You see, that's what's exactly my question. Can we do an analog FM synthesizer, like a fully FM synthesizer? Maybe this is it might be the take they have on analog FM synthesis, but I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be. That's what people are saying. Don't quote me. This is what people are saying in blogs online talking about the Moog Messenger. There's this website called vicontrol.net, and vicontrol.net, I don't even know. This is another blog. They have here. Let me get a Safari here for you guys. Properties, window capture, and then let's go with here so you guys can see it. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see the website. Let me do this. Yeah, I can't resize it. Yeah, I don't know if I can resize it, but I hope you can see it. They have the picture right here. Let's get a full screen. Let's just get a full screen here, and let's open image, a new tab. Let's go to that image right quick, and let's see if I can. There you go. So can barely read that shit right there. I need a better picture. Let's see if we can find it. We can kind of figure out, guys. Moog Messenger. Boom. And then we go to images right quick. Boom. And let's see what we can find out. Where's that picture? Let's open this picture right quick. And let's see what we got here. Okay. So we have octaves there. It says arpeggiation pattern, octave, gate length, note. Let me see what else. Direction. It can go forward, backwards, all that jazz. It has guide. It has a second LFO. I already see. It says LFO to rate. I need a better picture. Something closer than that. Something a little bit closer if we can find it. Okay, you have there oscillator to frequency. So you have oscillator subwave, wave shape, and wave shape. So we have a sub oscillator and two regular oscillators, right? Let me see what else we can find. There gotta be more pictures somewhere here. I need something with more information. No, we're far away from that. Yeah, this is not the right. Yeah. Two LFOs, looping envelopes. Oscillator cutoff is like Roland RE02X mod. Cool distorted sound, feedback distortion, we see connection. I'm gonna guess price. But that's the thing. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe he's an insider or he has something. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on here with the. And I'm sorry I'm not watching the chat. It says yes, it's not pretty. It's a regular subtracted synth. What's to figure? Oh, so Hansbolt, what I want to figure out is the FM part because it says that it has an FM oscillator, right? I guess. Two oscillators, two LFOs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not the biggest, most craziest thing, right? But it might be the sequencer what's making it have that sound. You see, some people say very straightforward, so it's a basically straightforward thing. Let us know how it sounds. Here's some picture of people that are playing with it. The real Mike Dean and Moog synthesizers. So there's people already playing with it. Why they get to play with those and not me? No algorithms. Exactly. That's what I was saying. So what makes a FM synth is basically the algorithms and the way that each oscillator, each operator works with between the other operators, and that's what makes the magic of FM synth. Um, I don't see anything here. Yeah, there's no more pictures. And they try not to let you see close up, huh? I don't want people to talk about it yet. Yeah, the sound and the price. It sounded like a bunch of like a bunch of like it sounded like five things going at once. To me, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like putting a sequencer. I don't know, some weird stuff like that. And then I don't know, maybe you take that cycle envelope and then